reflecting on last week's massive win, what can you take from that game?
I think it was a great reaction from the girls. We'd asked for a response on the back of obviously defeating round one of the Super League competition that we were disappointed with. So we went to Huddersfield with a few tasks to do as a group, as a collective, and I think we came away doing that. Always great to keep a team to nil. And it were a great night considering the weather. It absolutely teamed it down all evening, and that made it a little bit more difficult. So to keep a team to nil when it was a little bit unpredictable when the conditions are like that, we were impressed. So came away from that, in a good place. Despite a few injuries, I think the girls performed well. It was just a shame that we lost a few of the girls on the night, and probably we'll be missing them for a couple of weeks.
Kaya Glynn made her debut in that. How impressed have you been with her coming over? She's obviously adapted to a new position. Are you pleased with how she's going?
Yeah, it was great to see Kaya get a debut, and she made some really good contributions. She looked powerful, she looked strong, and she got over the whitewash on a debut, which you can't ask for a better debut than that, I guess. So yeah, she's been really good, and like you say, adapting. She's obviously played in the backs all of her rugby career with the army, but she featured in the forwards for us, and we spoke about where we think she can add value in that role, and she's taken it all on board, and she's great to work with because she's really receptive and she's highly committed to being a better player, and she wants to push for that. So it's been good having her in so far for this season.
And you mentioned injuries there. Let's just go through those. Zoe picked up an injury in that first game, and then you got a couple in the next. What's the status on those?
Yeah, so Zoe got an injury in round one from that tackle that saw a yellow card on the day. She's just got some rotator cuff damage, and hopefully it'll be a couple of weeks. But as you know, with rehab, it depends. You've got to sort of tick off a few stages at a time, and we'll just keep an eye on that. But hopefully it's a couple of weeks rather than anything further. And then Huddersfield, we got another couple of shoulder injuries. We lost Ellie Frayne in the opening, probably I think it was 9 minutes in. She slid over the line, scoring a try, and popped her shoulder. So again, she'll be rehabbing a couple of weeks, and just have to see how it goes. But hopefully not out for too long. And then Caitlin Beavers as well has got a fracture in her clavicle. So we'll be missing Caitlin for probably around 6 weeks, and hopefully get her back around that point. But yeah, it's a tough one because all of the players starting the season in some good form, and they've been chomping at the bit, and to be ruled out early doors is really frustrating for them as players. But as a squad, we'll get round them and make them feel well looked after in rehab club, and make sure that they know that we can't wait to get them back out there, and we'll all push to them doing that.
You've got a great medical team here as well, won't you? We'll be supporting them.
Yeah, we're really well provided in that manner. Obviously we've got Daniel Tadmar, who's our doctor, we've got Mark Oxley and Lauren Richardson as our physios, so yeah, really well supported, and they're well looked after. But that's key for us, is making sure they're well looked after and get them playing as much as they can and as quick as they can off on the back of injuries. But yeah, they're all frustrated, but we hope to see them back soon. And it's sport, that's what happens, and they're well aware of that. But they've all had pretty good attitudes towards their setbacks so far, so we'll keep working with them and keep pushing them and keep them smiling.
Just Georgia Roche, obviously she's been unavailable for selection. Can you just explain a little bit of where we are with that situation?
Yeah, so Georgia Roche has been in talks with NRLW for quite some time, and obviously all the back and forth with the CBA agreements with the NRLW has made it a longer process than what we're probably anticipating. But Georgia's been fully upfront with us from the absolute start of that journey, and her pursuing other options. And credit to Georgia, she's been snapped up by an NRLW club. I'm sure that'll be announced sooner rather than later. We obviously knew about that before round one, and they'd put an embargo on her playing. So hopefully see Georgia feature in an international game for England in next week. But her contract stated that to be playing no domestic rugby league, so that's something that she had to go along with, and it's a shame for her, a shame for us, because we'd love to see her win out at Headley in round one. But she goes with our best wishes, and we know she'll do great, and it's a credit to our competition and us as a club that we've got players of that calibre that they're wanting to snap up. And I'm sure we'll see Georgia return to Leeds and to Headley at some point later in her career, and hopefully it's not too soon until we see her, too long until we see her in the blue and amber again.
And just finally looking ahead to Sunday's game against Bradford, we start again in the Challenge Cup. That'll be a one that you'll definitely want to be making it through to the final again. What do you expect from Bradford in that first game?
I think they'll be tough, and they'll be, the Challenge Cup's competition that's there for everyone, and they'll be, you know, relishing the opportunity to play in a Leeds Bradford derby as we are as well. You know, playing against Bradford is always great as a Leeds player or as a Bradford player. I never got to do it the opposite way around, but obviously it's played for Bradford, so I know they'll be going into the game wanting to get a win, get a good performance, and ultimately every club taking part in the Challenge Cup wants to go well, because our road to Wembley starts on Sunday, and that's a massive incentive for us. We missed out on the Challenge Cup last year. We want to go out there and get the one that eluded us, but also the opportunity to play at Wembley is one that no female rugby player's done, rugby league player has done yet. So yeah, we just want to start well and use every opportunity to perform. So we're looking forward to it at Wheatwood on Sunday.